News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and 98.3 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
A Missoula woman is in jail accused of vehicular homicide while under the influence. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning for Monday, February 27, 2017. We've got quite a bit of snow overnight. We're sitting at 31 degrees in Missoula right now. And our newscast this morning is sponsored by Bulls Eyewear with Missoula's only certified master optician, 2910 South Reserve, in the old R.P. Ellis location. Call 552-1299. Our top story this morning, a 32-year-old Missoula woman has been arrested on suspicion of vehicular homicide while under the influence for a hit-and-run death. Sergeant Mike Hebert with the Missoula Police Department describes what happened.
About 11 o'clock on Friday night, Missoula police officers responded to the 400 block of the Mound area for a report of a vehicle versus pedestrian. The officers were advised that the vehicle had left the scene with a female driver. The pedestrian was found in the road and was later pronounced dead at the scene. The female driver and the run vehicle were located shortly after at a residence near Thames and Burlington, and that female was arrested.
The Missoulian is reporting this morning that 32-year-old Emily Bess Levens is facing charges of failure to remain at the scene of an accident where a person was killed, driving with a suspended license, and driving without insurance. Levens was booked into the jail about 4 o'clock Saturday morning and will make her initial appearance at 2:30 this morning in Missoula Justice Court. Her bail was set at over $100,000. Missoula County Sheriff spokeswoman Brenda Bassett did not release any information about the collision or the victim, who was reportedly a male, but that's unofficial. 30-year-old Aaron Graft is in the Missoula County Jail this morning on a $20,000 warrant after being accused of sexually assaulting a young girl last August. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Mark Handelman asked Judge Landy Holloway to continue Graft's warrant at $20,000 in addition to bail from other charges.
Defendant in this case is charged with sexual intercourse without consent committed on a 9-year-old victim. The prosecutor requested a $20,000 warrant. Defendant is also currently on pretrial supervision and has posted a $25,000 bond for another pending felony, a very large forgery and theft scheme.
Handelman asked Judge Holloway for certain restrictions should the defendant be released on bond.
The defendant was also just admonished by the court in the other case for recent conduct weeks ago with driving while suspended, eluding officers, and meth use. We'd request standard conditions as well as GPS, no contact with the victim or any minor.
Judge Holloway set bail at $20,000 and ordered Graft to appear in court again on March the 10th. A Missoula woman is in the Missoula County Jail after allegedly beating her boyfriend with the flat side of a machete and then with her fists. According to court documents, early Friday morning, 31-year-old Jamie K. Clark got into an argument with her boyfriend at their residence in East Missoula when the incident began. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Mark Handelman asked Judge Landy Holloway for $10,000 bail.
Defendant's charged with assault with a weapon and partner family member assault after the defendant attacked the victim with a machete, leaving a large welt on his body, multiple welts on his body, and punching him in the face, causing injury.
Handelman informed the judge about Clark's previous criminal history.
Defendant has misdemeanor theft listed on her criminal history with no disposition. We'll ask for standard conditions, as well as no contact with the victim, be restrained from that Speedway Avenue address, and a civil standby is okay to get her things. But we'd also be requesting no weapons.
Judge Holloway set bail at $10,000 and ordered Clark to appear again on March 10th. She agreed with the restrictions, including no weapons. The Montana Department of Justice would like to have a state morgue in Billings as part of its effort to improve medical examiner services for the eastern half of the state. DOJ spokesman Eric Sell told the Billings Gazette the agency has asked the legislature to fund that project. Montana has a morgue at the State Crime Lab in Missoula, but has contracted with St. Vincent Healthcare in Billings to use its morgue facilities. The state asked Yellowstone County to help fund the facility, which would cost $600,000 to $900,000 and be staffed with 2 medical examiners along with support staff. County commissioners informally agreed to contribute $150,000 to that project. Crime Lab Administrator Phil Kinsey says professional organizations recommend that a state the size of Montana have at least 2 autopsy facilities. Missoula County Attorney's Office is currently dealing with a case where multiple types of arson are involved. Deputy County Attorney Brittany Santorno says Jimmy Dean Johnson Jr. is being charged with 2 counts of arson and 3 counts of attempted arson.
He had attempted to set a few vehicles on fire. These incidents happened in 2 separate places, but they had kind of the same MO. There was pieces of paper found lodged where you'd put your fuel into the vehicle. 2 of them had attempted to be burned. 2 vehicles had in fact been burned on the inside that he was able to get inside and burn, not from the outside.
According to Santorno, the defendant made a significant error that linked him to the crime.
The second scene that we had, there was a piece of paper found in the gas tank, and that paper had his name on it and some other medical information, so that tied him to that scene. He had no connections really to the owners of these vehicles that were set on fire, which also poses a big threat to the community, given that there was no ties to the victims in these cases.
Johnson's bail was set at $10,000. On Thursday of last week, Montana Governor Steve Bullock vetoed 2 House bills dealing with firearms. And afterwards, Montana House Speaker Austin Knudsen criticized the governor's decision on House Bill 262, which was what he termed a constitutional carry bill.
Our thought is the Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution grants you the right to carry a firearm. You have the right to bear arms. You shouldn't necessarily have to have a permit to exercise that right. We don't require a permit to exercise your First Amendment right. Why do we need one for your Second Amendment right?
Knudsen said House Bill 246 was sponsored by Representative Randy Brodell and dealt with firearms being carried into a post office, using his own experience living in a small rural community.
Well, how does that work when, for me personally, when I drive into town off the farm and I pull into the post office in Culbertson, if I've got the 22 under the back seat of my pickup because I was out shooting gophers, I'm technically violating federal rule. So what House Bill 246 would have allowed is you to be able to come on to Postal Service property in Montana and them not being able to enforce that law.
The Associated Press reports that Bullock noted in his veto letter that he had rejected 2 bills identical to Harris's measure in past sessions. The governor said the idea of allowing individuals to decide for themselves whether they're eligible to carry concealed weapons is, quote, absurd, end quote. The Democratic governor says Brodell's bill violates constitutional provisions that give Congress the right to make rules over federal properties, such as a post office. Our news talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy to cloudy skies today with areas of light snow. An additional dusting to as much as half an inch will be possible through your Monday. Tonight, lows will drop into the teens. Snow likely tonight into Tuesday with an additional inch or 2 possible. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster, KECI 13.